Gentlemen, hello, 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 and hello everyone, please. Welcome to the last panel of today. Amazing to see people still here. Woo! All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Today's panel is about wallets and exchanges, or wallets, for lack of a better word. We suggested we call it something about the fusion of usability, security, and innovation. Let me first introduce our distinguished guests. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Sever. I'm from the internet. I work with MultiversX on coaching startups that build in the ecosystem, and today is my pleasure and honor to host our distinguished guests, which I will introduce now. So next to me, we have Dorian from KuCoin. Dorian leads the European local activities of the company, as well as business development for both retail and institutional investors in the EU. Before joining KuCoin, Dorian had already worked as a business development manager for several leading cryptocurrency exchanges while pursuing a PhD in economics at the University of Côte d'Azur. Let's welcome Dorian.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right. Then we have Pierre, right? Thank you. Pierre currently leads the business development department at Trust Wallet. His journey in the world of cryptocurrency began in 2017 when he launched his own company. After a year of involvement in the DeFi space, he joined the Trust Wallet team. His primary focus at present is on DeFi integration and strategizing the most effective approach to bringing Web3 to the mass market using Trust Wallet. As such, he is now responsible for integrating a variety of different projects with Ledger and explaining the open platform approach Ledger is currently focusing on. Welcome, Pierre. Let's welcome him. And last but certainly not least, we have Fabrice. Fabrice is an engineer who started his crypto journey more than 5 years ago. He first joined Ledger as a product manager for hardware wallet applications. Fabrice told me to leave this out, but I think it's important because Fabrice said he survived 2 long crypto winters, one of us, survived 2 long crypto winters, participated in 3 new hardware wallet launches, and I think you know them, NanoX, S+, and the Ledger Stacks, and was involved in more than 20 blockchain protocol additions to Ledger Live, including, of course, MultiversX. Fabrice is now head of developer ecosystem at Ledger. Let's welcome Fabrice.
Hello.
All right. So as you can see, we have the entire spectrum of wallet products here represented from hot to cold. The spectrum exists because this type of products are faced with a, let's say, kind of like a usability versus security dilemma. Or otherwise said, the more control a user has over their funds, the more complex the security measures. And on the other hand, the more user-friendly the product, the larger amount of trust has to be placed in a third party. Your products have made remarkable achievements in both areas, but the space is getting crowded. Multiple chains, layers, bridges, more products on all of them, and inherently new security areas. And to complicate matters further, we have all the crypto nerds already in. So future growth of your products and crypto in general hinges on getting in, let's say, new coiners, no coiners, right? So first of all, did I get it right? Is there or is there not a dilemma between security and usability when building products such as yours? Can the two be worked together into a solid yet enjoyable product? And what are some interesting trends that you see developing in this area? Can we first start with, please, Fabrice?
Okay, so your question is about security versus usability.
Is there this dilemma?
Yeah, I think there is a dilemma in the sense that it's a bit like doors, okay? You can have doors that are super easy to open. If you don't put locks in it, it's super easy, but it's not safe at all. So Ledger is a hardware wallet company. We really rely on hardware to provide security. And obviously, this comes at a cost for usability. So our mission at Ledger is to try to make your experience as easy and as convenient as possible without compromising on security. And this is a real challenge. And I think it's a challenge for us, but it's a challenge for everyone in the industry. You try to have a better UX, but you still want to ensure that your users are safe in whatever they're doing. So at Ledger, we do new hardware. We try to launch new ones, every couple of years. So the last one is the Ledger Stacks you said earlier. But we have other initiatives. We try to partner with many actors in the industry to try to make either staking safer. So I saw the CEO from Kiln earlier, so we worked with them, and we worked with anyone in the industry to really make things smoother. Now, innovation is not just about Ledger, and I think we should take a deeper look into probably any security improvement that exists at protocol level. I know MultiversX did something recently about that, but also we should probably take a deeper look into smart contract wallets. They will probably change the way we deal with security because they will add, new ways to handle policies, I would say, depending on whatever is your risk profile, for instance. So yeah, many things to come, and it's a real challenge. That's where innovation is coming from.
Okay, thank you so much. I like the comment about the door. It's like easiest way is there's no door. You just walk through, right? It's great, and it's always a challenge. I think in the middle somehow, although if you think of your phone as a hardware device, it's Pierre from Trust. What's your take on this, Pierre?
I think that this dilemma about usability and security, it's a shared dilemma for all the DApp and the Web3 actors. From a wallet perspective, I would say we could see the security divided into major space, the physical security, where you are going to require from your user to perform some action on the device itself, and the more digital security, where it's more where the product is going to implement some system to protect the user from potential attack, or sometimes from the user itself when it's not educated enough. So as a software wallet and mobile app, mainly in a broader extension, we are focusing mostly on the second part, on the digital security, where our engineering team do its best since the very beginning to make all our users safe. This comes from some small innovation, but a continuous innovation through iteration. Some examples are, for example, the cloud backup for your passphrase, when now you can easily move your wallet from one device to another without having to use your passphrase yourself and to make it vulnerable. This comes from the security scanner we have inside the app. When you're trying to connect to a smart contract, you will be warned if this smart contract is a scam or if any suspicious activities happen recently on this smart contract. So security can have lots of form, but yeah, as a software wallet, we are more focused on the second one, because it's always, everything can be more secure, but as Fabrice said, it's basically, it depends what user experience do you want to offer. Ledger is a hardware wallet, it could be compared to a safe. Trust wallet could be compared to a wallet, a real wallet, a physical one, or maybe a gateway, like your bank to your bank account, but not your savings itself.
All right, thank you. The interaction with the smart contracts, it's so much of a problem. We had this discussion with Robert, who takes issue with protocols which are built in a way that accessing a smart contract can take over then the rest of your contents of your wallet. It's kind of like with email, like if you subscribe to a bad newsletter, then everyone has access to your whole drive and inbox. So I think that's a great, other protocols are built this way, so I think it's great that you brought this up. Dorian, what's your hot take on this?
Well, first, I hope I'm not scaring everybody too much, because I'm supposed to be the bad guy on stage. Hot wallet against cold wallet. We have had this divide for a long time now. But I want to say that I use all the products on stage as well, so it's kind of it's very reassuring to see you guys, and I'm actually as curious as everyone to hear what you have to say on this topic of security overall, coming from the cold wallet ecosystem. So at KuCoin, we take the approach to be user-centric, because there is a dilemma between usability and security. That's obvious. We have seen it. We look at the data that we have from our users, the use cases that they do with the security measures we provide for them. There seems to be kind of a consensus right now about the level of security that is accepted as major use, used by the majority. that seems to be around the two-factor authentication. If you don't have that, you're a bit lagging behind. By the way, don't want to scare anybody off, but that's kind of a fact now. And you can think of it as what's your goal in the end. If your goal is to provide maximum security, probably what you would have to do in a very figurative way for everyone to follow us would be to silo every entry point of access to the diverse assets or class of assets or whatever belongings you have, meaning that you would have a different password for that, different password for that, different second authentication factor for each one later on, etc., etc. And you could reproduce that overall. Then you can perfectly see that the usability of that would be very complex, that not a lot of people would follow these processes. And on the other extreme, you would have the person having one single entry point for all assets. Like you would have a merge account of all your assets, all your belongings with one password or even not even a password, let's say. So let's say that our goal is to obviously avoid both extremes. And as we all have a responsibility to our users on stage, we take security pretty seriously. And we have been providing measures for our users to access what can be seen as the standard of security measures these days that is most accessible to everyone. So once again, second authentication factor. We have actually had some kind of interesting data when we implemented the anti-phishing messages, anti-phishing option on our on accounts. People who actually used that had an 80% chance 80% chance less chance, to be victim of a successful phishing attempt. So when you have some kind of feedback on the security measures you take, it's always better, always has to be user-centric, because in the end, what's our goal? I think we all have the same goal, even if we are walking there in a different way. We want mass adoption to come. We are working to develop products for mass adoption to become a thing. And in order for that to happen, we still need to consider usability and our users in the first place.
Thank you for that. And I think everyone here uses all kinds of products. I know myself, I'm the kind of people, I'm not the kind of person, before I even understand it,
because
I'll
they're
just buy
not
a ledger
mutually
first.
exclusive.
Yeah, I'll get a ledger first, but almost nobody is really used to such products, right? So I think, it makes more sense to start with a hot wallet for people who just, I don't know about this stuff. Can I call someone, right? It's just people who download an app. So I think you really, guys, cover all the spectrums here. And I think also, to segue in the next one, the functionalities that you guys offered, have way gone beyond just sending and receiving tokens in your wallet. It's crazy, right? I mean, what are we? We have payments, investments, yield hunting, staking, NFTs, so many others have turned wallets into multiple purpose blockchain apps, if we can call them that. So where are we on the evolution of wallets? If we can still call them that, will it continue? And if so, what are some of the potential new features that excite you the most? Pierre, can you please take this first?
Yeah, as you said, the user needs changed a lot in the last couple of years. Trust Wallet has been launched in 2017, and at this time, the main concern for the user was to have all their token and blockchain supported in one place. So this was the first initial mission of Trust Wallet, to make the indexing of all the token easier for everyone. Now, since, as I said, a couple of years, the needs change. Users want to have more native experience with some DeFi and Web3 services. Today, wallets, self-custodial wallets, can be seen as the main door, the main gateway of the Web3 world. So it's our missions to make it accessible to the mass market, basically. So at Trust Wallet, we started by implemented native swap, cross-chain swap directly inside the wallet, to let our user not only hold their token, but also to have the ability to swap them as soon as they want to do it on a very safe way, without having to connect to an external DApp and potentially connect to the wrong one. Recently, we launched staking inside the app, also on a self-custodial way, because it's something very important for us. We don't want to have the custody of the funds. We want to have everyone owner of their own coin and tokens. So we launched these staking services, on-chain staking services recently inside the app. In the futures, we are working on other native integration to make Web3 way more accessible to everyone. Because currently, even for lots of our users or lots of wallet users, connecting to a DApp, it's something who can be painful if you never did that. Providing liquidity, supplying funds, this will require time for someone who starts crypto now. So one of our mission is to make this action very simple and very straightforward directly from the wallet to make the major services directly available inside Trust Wallet.
Okay. That's interesting with the staking. I think immediately when people buy it, it's like, where do I stake it, right? I think it's welcoming them. Okay. Dorian, what's happening on your side?
Well, I think in our case, it's kind of we are the wallet as the exchange globally. So the way we are working is to be more and more transparent. I hope we will reach a level of transparency that will be always higher and always matching the expectancies, legitimate expectancies of the users. Today we are talking about proof of assets that are being delivered every month. It's something that is state of the art right now in our industry, but it was very hard to make it a thing. And when you compare ourselves to our traditional, let's say, competitors, which is traditional finance, you don't have that. It doesn't exist. You have a balance sheet once a year, and that's about it. So we are already reaching a level of transparency that is higher than it was. Hopefully, will continue to increase. Then, in terms of where wallets are heading, generally speaking, I mean, that would be a personal take, not the take of KuCoin or the exchange. Yeah, there is a tendency for more functionalities, obviously, even the case on hot wallets. Yeah, I'm actually more curious to know about what Pierre and my colleague has to say from Ledger's perspective.
Okay. Let's hear from Fabrice. Ledger Live has been becoming this thing. What's next?
I think in many ways we're very similar to Trust Wallet in that regard, because we always thought that people wanted to have a multi-chain app in some sense. I don't like the words wallet, because it may be a paradox, but I always say hardware wallet on one side, I talk about application on another side, because really at the end of the day, the first question is, what about the self-custody aspect? That's the first question you have to ask yourself. If you store your coins on an exchange, it might be very good for you, but you don't have the key management on your side. This makes it different. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's just different than having your own key to manage. If on top of that you add the hardware wallet, then it's even more different, and you have to manage a device on top of the application. Now, we all agree that there are more chains, more use cases. Now everyone sees the balance, the transaction history. Now everyone think about staking, and everyone is going to this one single app that can do everything. Xportal is doing the same, by the way, guys. So everyone is pushing in the same direction, and staking is part of the journey. NFTs sometimes are part of the journey. DeFi, or sometimes you have this type of browser. I think you guys have that, a browser to experience DeFi dApps within the application itself. I don't know what's next. I honestly don't know, but I see a tendency or a convergence between what used to be exchanges' role, like buying and swapping coins, and wallets historically that were just to hold and see and perform easy transaction. Now the two are really merged together. So it's not really a wallet, it's not really an exchange anymore. It's kind of this new thing. And I love the way you framed it. I don't remember the name that you used, like multi-purpose
blockchain app.
It's exactly this. So I don't know what's next. No one saw the NFT hype coming, or if we saw it very late. So maybe we will discover something new in a couple of months. Who knows?
I mean, I agree. It's everything goes around, like every functionality that exists in an app. Of course you want to have it because you want to have users in your product. So it's more and more. And I think I will skip the next question because I think it's more and more getting about identity, right? I think, the more you look about it, I care more about my wallet and my seed phrase than I care about the picture the plastic piece of plastic that I have with my picture on it. So I will go and ask this question about digital identity, because I think, for lack of a better term, I think all of these super apps are more super apps, a lot of features, a lot of blockchains. They're all centered around me or you or the user, right? So have you thought about digital identity in your product becoming like a core thing and evolving into maybe one day replacing the pieces of plastic that we use, and to work this into your product? And maybe can you Fabrice start with this? Or sorry,
Who starts?
Fabrice, sorry, I looked at Pierre. Sorry,
Okay.
I just met them before we walked on stage. It's my fault.
Yeah, I agree with what you just said. I think identity will be a big thing in the future. I saw, I think recently in Brazil, they did something with a blockchain for identity. I think there is something in Estonia as well. I honestly don't know anything about these projects, so I don't know if they are valid or decentralized enough. But right now, everything we do is very much digital already. Your photos, your assets, your NFTs, your cryptos. Everything is digital, so why not put your own identity in a digital form as well? Now the real question is, who is the best suited to safeguard your digital identity? I believe you should be in charge of your digital identity, but there is no standard yet. I don't think we all agreed on a standard to have decentralized identity, but it's definitely something. With your last question, maybe that's the next big thing. You have some ENS stuff that are very widely used now, but it's not a KYC on the blockchain yet, So maybe we'll get there at some point, but I think we need to be super careful handling both identity and privacy on the public ledger. That's a tricky one, I think, for innovation.
I feel you, and then the more importance this digital identity gets, I think the more hard for people will be to answer the question, do I really safeguard this myself because it's important, or do I entrust it with someone so I can get some help if I need this? Dorian, how do you feel about this?
I would say that then you're back to square one. You came in this space to evade the third party for trust, and actually that's the risk with like digital ID. You will always have something in the real world, someone, an institution, to guarantee that it actually exists in the physical world. So in some ways, it's you could make the case that it's the same with most of the tokenization of physical assets. It's bringing back a third party, necessary trusting third party, for you to be able to actually use this kind of functionality. Then, once again, it's kind of the users who will decide, because in the end, when you're an exchange, but even when your company is working in the space, you're user-centric. You need to put the desires of the users first. If the users actually have a desire to use such a digital identity, and then we find a way to implement it, it will be our role as an exchange, like companies in the Web2 space, to create the products that will allow them to this functionality on our platform and others.
I agree that the people come to blockchain space for removing that trusted layer from third parties. Maybe we're one unexpected invention away from a link between our consciousness and our identity and funds. What do you think, Pierre?
I agree about the fact digital identity, or DID, may be one of the next hot topic in our space. The tricky part on that is currently your identity is 100% managed by the government. They are defining the rules about what's a true ID card or a true passport and what's a fake one. So currently, from a blockchain perspective, we still need to trust some private company who is going to attest this user is using a true passport or a true ID card in your application before to store it on the chain. On the current state, something which is the closest to DID, it's, in my opinion, the proof of personhood. It's a decentralized way to prove you're unique on chain. So no one knows your identity, but we are sure you don't have another wallet with the same for the same person. This may help to reduce the number of bots or scams inside the ecosystem. So I think we still have a long journey before to have the ID, but something close to proof of personhood could be one of the first iteration of this for wallets and DeFi in general.
Thank you for that. I think it's, like you said, I'm maybe not fully the ID, but more in this direction. I think it's unavoidable and so badly needed, right? Okay, we have a last question here. It's one of my favorites, because every time I check my social feeds, artificial intelligence seems to have made yet another leap forward, right? The rate of progress in AI seems to be accelerating, and its implications are so broad that they at least cover everything digital, if not also beyond and into the physical space. What are your thoughts on artificial intelligence and its impact on crypto, and how are you considering it in the context of developing your products? Dorian, can you please take this first?
So actually, I was speaking about this topic with you this morning on the innovation stage. At KuCoin, once again, the community approach, we went to our users to know first what they wanted and if they liked the idea of artificial intelligence, which is kind of a buzzword these days. You see it as a narrative that's bringing lots of traction to the market. But what people see is the products that they interact with on the day-to-day basis. So that has been ChatGPT, for example, Midjourney, the products that like generative AI, things that the general public has been able to interact with. When we surveyed our user base, so it's our user base, that's what it means, but it's already like people that are crypto, that are using crypto savvy, so you would expect them to be more tech savvy overall than the general public. There is a clear majority that want to use AI, that is interested in AI, not a super large majority, actually, more close to 60%, and we did it many times, and it's always close to 60%. Then when you look at what they would like to see from AI integration, we have about 40% of respondents who think that AI is going to improve security overall. So developing AI products to improve security seems to be among the concerns of people. Then we have products that are more oriented towards having a personal assistant for trading, for example. 40% of people are also interested in this. So that are the two main functionalities that our user base has been kind of asking for. That's why actually we developed, so first, AI we are using in terms of support, where right now we are training our own generative AI from the support requests of our customers so that it gets more and more efficient. So at some point it will be able to handle lots of support requests much faster and much more efficiently. Why more efficiently? Because we realize that sometimes what our users are saying about their problems is not what we are saying about their problems. So maybe an AI that has enough experience dealing with the way people are stating what they're seeing going wrong on the platform is a better way than us doing the trick. But then when do you put the human in the end, it's another problem. And we'll have time to discuss about this. Also products, definitely using a machine learning algorithm to enhance trading options. So now we have the option for people who use trading bots, for them to implement machine learning with their bots. They will automatically adapt on the range of price. For example, for spot grid and futures grid, you will have the bot will automatically adapt to the new range of price if there is a downturn or an upturn in the market. So you can continue using the bot with updated parameters.
All right. Interesting set of things there, and interesting results from your audience. Fabrice, what do you think?
So I think I agree with you on the support part. We did something. It's not in production. It's an internal job, but we do have the same engine that was trained to better answer customer support. Now, I was talking with a colleague earlier, and he told me AI is a tool. It's not the perfect solution for everything. So the question is, how can we leverage this tool to improve our products? Customer support, definitely. Trading is probably something I would not have thought of. I wouldn't go as far as design and product development. We're not there yet, I think. But I would be very cautious into, forcing the merge of buzzwords. Crypto and AI don't necessarily have to live together. Maybe there will be some use cases that our users will ask for, but maybe there will be none. And we need to try and fail a lot before actually finding out the answer to this problem.
I like this view because everyone's like super excited. Yes, AI will change everything. Let's wait and see. I think that's a very try and
there
wait
is
and
one
see.
thing in AI that at least ChatGPT did very, very well. Crypto, it's been like, what, 10 years? We still have people that don't understand what's it for. Like, what's the value proposition? ChatGPT, you give it to your grandmother and she's like, oh my God, it's magic. And so we need to have this wow effect from crypto in some ways. Us here, we know that crypto has a wow effect, but for the normal people, I would say, it's maybe a bit more difficult. So I hope we can bring this wow effect to crypto as ChatGPT did with AI.
I think the only chance for us with crypto is to hide it so well in products that people don't notice it's there. But I think it's, again, we're a few inventions, I think, away from that. Pierre, what do you think?
I agree with Fabrice about the fact AI, it's a tool, not an end. So basically, we should be able to fix the problem we are going to use the tool on. The most evident use case that Dorian said and Fabrice about the support, which I think almost all the crypto company, also based on what you just said about the fact crypto is still complex for a retail user. And so we have a lot of demand in terms of support. So AI can be a very interesting solution for us to improve our efficiency on this area. Another aspect, it has been mentioned too, is security. I talk about our security scanner at Trust Wallet, and this is also a good use case to train an AI to help user to anticipate potential scam before it happens, based on the unfortunate long history of scam in crypto. We have a very huge database about it, and training AI to detect this kind of scam or fraud could be also something very useful for a user in terms of a real use case. But otherwise, yeah, agree about all the product thing. Well, I'm not sure AI is still better than our developer team to build a product.
So you are already using it for coding, but you like the human code better, or not at all?
We are not using it to build the code. We may using it sometimes to win sometimes, but not to build a complete product.
Okay. All right. Good. I think that's the smart way to go. Take it easy. We've seen what hype brings, especially in the crypto space. But I think it's great to have an eye on this technology. And overall, gentlemen, it was a great discussion. Thank you, and thank you all for being patient until the end. Let's give a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and thank you. And sorry for my mix-up. I'm old. Sorry.